If you got to reprise any of your characters from the past, which one would you pick?
Lloyd.
Okay.
Duh.
Hey, it's not my question, man.
Sorry.
Do you have a favorite memory while working on Ninjago?
When we were all in the studio together, and hey, note to people, the boys were always naughtier than the girls. The girls were pretty good, but the boys always went off on tangents. But so we'd all be like, but
you and Kelly had to put up with a lot in those early years.
But I think just the general energy. I can remember a few sessions when there's literally 20 of us all in a circle, and it was just incredible. It was electrifying to me.
Yeah.
That was the best overall. It's not just one show or whatever, it was the general feel of it.
The thing is with Ninjago, I always felt that you're not centralizing on one lead, right? The
No.
show's not about like Mega Man and then everybody else, right? It's kind of this even keel
Yeah.
of who's got scenes and lines and how it goes. We're all supporting leads to each other, really.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's why that's why it's so cool, because people have been able to relate to all of our individual characters. Like a lot of people that are a little bit on the outsides of social groups and whatnot have loved Zane because I represent them, right? So it's it's that category. And then there's always like the cool strong guy in the group, or the guy that's like going after the girls, like Vincent's character Kai,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And the funny guy is always in the group. You weren't cast as Lloyd. Who would you like to play?
I thought Skylar.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool part. I would
Yeah.
have loved to have done that. I even named my first bike Skylar because I
Nice.
thought she was cool, and she got to talk in her lower register and be kind of sexy, but then fighting and doing all that. So I kind of like that character. Played two of the moms. So
Yeah.
And then when Maya came back, she had a lot more of a role, which was really fun.
So she came back in Seabound, right?
I don't
She came back in Seabound because I read it in the comments. When you got to reprise her role, what was your reaction to getting that call?
It was awesome, and the fact that she was switching to the Master of Water and forgetting all this stuff, but she actually had a power, and her interaction with Nia, and I actually got to use my natural voice, which was I never usually get to do that.
Dragons Rising is the new version of Ninjago. There was this flashback scene where they went back to Lloyd as a kid. And I'm assuming you were not asked to do that because fans were wondering why you didn't do it.
I was not asked.
I think it just got missed because the new people weren't there when you did it originally.
Yeah.
And weren't even there when Sam had taken over. It's always been Sam to them. So they probably didn't even think of it.
The fans are awesome. I still get the nicest comments all the time. So it's heartfelt. And when I go to these conventions, the cool thing is, like I say, they're like we grew up listening to your voice, and it's so heartwarming because we don't normally get to meet the fans, so and have them say that. And now even the stuff that I did in the late 90s when I was 12, of course, the DBZ stuff and that stuff, they're bringing their kids, and their kids are getting into it. It's the kind of same thing with Ninjago. I get to meet the fans, and they say that grew up listening to your voice, and it meant so much, and we learned about integrity and honor and strength and just so many cool things. And I'm always like, oh my God, that's so nice.
Yeah, one of the things I like is when someone says, "You were my childhood."
Yeah,
Dude,
that's what I get.
This is the big one. Dude, you were literally my childhood.
I get that.
Yeah.
No, I get that all the time. And it's so heartwarming.
Do you think Edna or Maya will come back in the future? Do you think there's opportunity there?
I would love if they did.
We'll say there is hope.
Okay, I would love to.
Yes. Do you read fan fictions?
I do not.
People, it's okay. I don't either. I just don't have the time, right?
Oh.
Assuming that's you too, right? We just don't have the time. Do you have a dream role?
Do something where I get to obviously act and I get to sing. It would be cool for me. That's kind of my thing, if I could do both.
How did you get started in voice acting? Was it singing that took you in there?
Yeah. I was singer-songwriter. I was singing jingles in the studio, and then I started just doing commercials as well. I had all the, I already knew how to work with the microphone and that kind of thing.
Right.
And I was good at manipulating my voice singing, and so it just kind of became a natural thing.
The way Lloyd screams over the years has become iconic. Did you
Really?
record that just like once and they reuse it, or did you do it?
No, we did a lot of them each time.
What's a cool fact that people don't know about you?
Probably, like I said, that I'm equal part, if not more, a designer, renovator, house flipper, as I am actor. That wasn't always the way, but it's become even more so that way, especially during COVID. Like we said, we all had to kind of pivot. And then I'm an avid cyclist.
Do you have any Ninjago sets, minifigs sets? Are you
No,
kidding me right now? You never got your original Lloyd?
no.
You mentioned conventions a few times. Do you have any coming up soon?
The only one I know of is in, it's so far is in July, in,
Well, we can go to your Instagram and find that
yeah,
out too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like you always post about your conventions coming
yeah,
up. Yeah, okay.
yes.
Can you please say a Lloyd line?
Come on, guys, ninjas never quit. That's kind of a younger version. Come on,
Oh,
guys, ninjas never quit.
there we go. That is one of the most famous Ninjago lines of all time that multiple characters have said. Would you rather voice a main character and work the same, or a bunch of side characters and work the same amount as the main?
That's an interesting question. I think
Yeah.
I'd rather do one.
Okay.
I like the variety of doing other ones, but you're less scattered because you're focusing on one character.
Is there any time that you couldn't get a line out because you were laughing too hard that you remember?
I can't remember the line, but yes, it happens very often.
Back in the original days, it happened a lot. Yeah, there was a
Yes,
lot of laughs. Like,
yeah.
I think Vincent's goal was just to try to put on a comedy routine and then do some lines
Right.
in between.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah,
all of them. That's why I said, people, the boys were always misbehaving. And then we had to keep a straight face and do the next line. It's
I always throw Vincent under the bus and say he's the main one, just because I think he was dancing the entire time.
that's true.
You know,
And then
when a
we'd
guy,
always start singing.
yeah, I know when a guy is like dancing and singing next to you, like a Michael Jackson thing, twirling around and giving you
Yes.
like this, and then you
Yeah, I
got
was always on the other side.
yeah,
I
then
would just block them out.
you got to do a paragraph of dialogue. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Is there any dream country that you would like to visit?
More of Italy, Spain. I want to go to Positano in Italy. It looks just stunning.
Did your voice ever hurt as Lloyd?
Not really as his, but when I was playing the Dragon Ball Z characters, that was back in the time that was dubbing, right? So there were, I don't even know the union was involved at that point, and we would do like 8-hour sessions
Hmm.
of screaming. I mean, they're fighting a lot in that show, and I had 3 boy characters, but not, I don't think so with Lloyd.
What's something cool on your bucket list?
To travel for sure.
Any tips you have to inspiring voice actors?
Ooh, get that a lot. Well, first of all, it's a job. Remember that. You have to get some kind of demo tape, something on tape. You have to get an agent so you can audition. Keep your demos short, have different demos for whatever you're good at, obviously commercials, animation, if you sing, having improv skills, or being in a theater or singer or whatever really helps, because being versatile is awesome. It's the best thing you can have. You have much greater roles you can audition for. And then getting an agent and just getting out there and auditioning.
Do you do vocal warm-ups?
Not unless I'm gonna sing.
Why did you move to LA?
It was a life choice. It really was. I just wanted to be able to do exactly what I did in Vancouver, but in nicer weather. I wanted to be able to ride my bike. That was a big goal of mine, to learn how to road bike.
Someone noticed on your Instagram that you went to the Taylor Swift concert. So, favorite Taylor Swift song or album?
I didn't go to the concert. I went to the movie.
Okay, well, same question. Favorite
Yeah.
song or album?
I like so many of her. I mean, yeah, I like so many of her things. I just think she's really interesting. It's not like I would really call myself a Swiftie, but I think she's just incredibly talented, and she's created this empire. And she seems like a really nice person. I think that's what I like. She seems very approachable. She's great with her fans. So I think she's awesome.
Listen, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I know so much about Taylor Swift because everybody in my house loves Taylor Swift. It's nonstop in my house.
Yeah.
I should not know all her lyrics, but a song comes on, I'm like, I could sing along to it.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Bratty Lloyd or Master Lloyd?
When I had to do the really deep voice, the older voice, it was more vocally challenging
Mhm.
to get those nuances in such a deep part of my voice. So probably it was easier and more fun being the bratty voice.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you
Thank
on
you.
the Brent Miller Voice channel, but more importantly, just to see your face. It's,
Thank you
it,
too.
you know,
You too.
do you have
And
anything you'd like to say to the friendly fans?
oh, just like I've said before, thank you so much for your support and continuing even after, sorry, I get choked, even after I left the show, still be so kind. It's really nice. And I did not leave the show. I had to leave the show. People were like, why did you leave? It's like, okay, it wasn't my thing,
Yeah.
but that's been super sweet.
Yeah, that's tough
I'm
when
sleep deprived.
that's tough when creative choices happen in a show that are totally not to do with our performance or how we work.
No.
Because you
I
wouldn't
got
have
the
been.
nicest letter from Lego, like the producers, like
Yeah,
this long, nice letter. This had nothing to do with your performance. We loved what you did with the character. It was
yeah,
very sweet. It's just we're going a completely different direction. He's gonna be a grown man. He's gonna have a love interest, and it might be kind of funky to have a girl.
yeah. I have to tell you, just it's one of those really awkward transitions.
Yeah.
Because Sam came into the room on season 8, right? And you're like, how do you be like, hey, congratulations? Because you know me at the start of a show where everybody's super excited, but you're like, hey, man, this is really awkward, because we just lost you. So
Yeah.
everybody was really sad about that. But then you want to welcome the new guy, but you
Of
also
course.
don't want to make them feel bad. And
Yeah.
honestly, like, so Andrew Francis took over Kirby's part when Kirby passed, right?
Yeah.
And I actually feel really lucky that we were right in the COVID era because we
Mhm.
all didn't have to face it in the studio.
Yeah.
If you had to if he passed and then like a month later go and record together, I'd just be looking at his microphone, his chair. It would just be too hard. So a couple years went by before they even,
Right.
started to
Yeah.
see people again. So that transition was way easier. But
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. Yeah.
but you were missed. I have very fond memories of you. I remember teasing you about your not teasing, but liking your shoes because you could have these wicked boots that you always rock these like rock boots, like red leather boots and stuff. And I was like, man,
No.
it's coming all high fashion, and I'm in my Converse every time. So I miss
Well,
those
good
times.
job. I liked it.
Yeah, I miss those times. So
I know. It was so
anyway.
fun. So
Thank you
much.
so much for being a part of this. All right, friends, drop a like, drop a sub, go follow Jillian. That's very important to me. And spread this around because I know that Jillian was one of the most requested voice actors all
Aw.
these years. No, I'm not joking. Very requested. And
Aw.
finally, we made it happen. So
Yes.
drop one of these things because YouTube tells me I'm supposed to tell you to do that.
Bye, guys. Be well.